and I decided to go live again today. I wanted to make up another Christmas wreath. I'm in a purple mood. I'm wearing purple. I'm in a purple mood, and I just had a little bit of inspiration earlier today. I was going through some of my old wreaths. I was going through some new wreaths that I've seen, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do something just a little bit different than usual. So I have this, I got this grapevine. It's a 14-inch from Michael's, and I got this last week. It has the branches in it just have that slight purple tint to them, just slight. So I thought, you know what the heck? I'm going to go use this and kind of go with a little bit of purple. This is going to look good. But I'm going to start off, I just made this quick bow. It's going to get messed up as I'm doing this, so I really don't care what it looks like in the very beginning, but it's just a black and white check, and I'm going to go with, you know, like mostly some white, some iridescent, and some purple. So I think this is going to be fun. I'm going to put this in here, kind of through that grapevine, and just twist it on. And then I'm just going to go around this bow. And like I said, it's going to get messed up, so I'm not going to worry too much of what this bow's looking like right now. But I kind of decided I want this to kind of almost peek out the side. I don't want it to be right there in the middle like a focal point. So what I'm going to start off with is just some regular pine. And you can get, you can use any pine you want. I got this from the brand name on it is that Raz, which I've seen that before, and I think I got I've seen it on Trendy Trees site. So I'm not positive. Again, I didn't look to make sure, but I think I've seen it there before. And where I ended up buying this was from a local hardware store that sells a lot of gorgeous decorations. Believe it or not, it's a hardware store. But hey, where we can find our decorations, we can find them, right? So anyhow, I'm just going to start off with some pine, and that's going to be our base. I am going to use, right here, I have some hot glue in a skillet. This is just a 6-inch skillet that I got off of Amazon. And I'm just going to put this stuff, I got the hot glue melted, and I'm just going to stick the end in there and go to town. And just, I'm going to kind of go around the bow. This is what I decided. This is kind of how I wanted to do this today. Just mostly have the pine and florals or whatever I decide I'm going to use, because I usually kind of go on the fly. I just put everything in front of me and just go from there. So I'm going to put most everything right here. So make this a little more on the top heavy side. And if you're jumping on here, let me know where you're from. Say hello. I would love to see where some of my my viewers are from. I'd love to hear from you. But I'm going to just stick these. Again, this pine is going to be just like a base. And I might decide to come back and put some more in there. I don't know yet. depending on how full this gets, because we want it to be full, but we don't want it to be overbearing either. So this one. And what I like to do, like this is rather long, so I am just going to, right up the top of one of the branches, kind of cut it off and make two. And I'm going to stick one over on the side of this bow, kind of behind it. If you've ever seen me do my florals before, I like to make them very dimensional. I like to go towards the back, make sure the sides are well covered and everything. And so now I'm going to go on this side of the bow. And just make it real nice and full. And again, this part is just kind of the base. And I'll probably go back here later on and stick a little bit more through here. Okay, so I think from there I am going to go ahead. I have this, again, from the same place, from the same hardware store. It is just like a snowy, it almost looks like that Arbor Vitae. So I want to use different textures, things like that, because I think all those different textures really, make our wreaths come to life. So just kind of cut all these off. Okay. And just kind of stick these through there. Just to fill it in. And it's going to be all good and snowy and frosty. Let's just kind of have all that sticking out a little bit here and there. Now, I usually like to use tube glue instead of the hot glue, but I think today it'll go a little quicker if I just use this this hot glue skillet. It definitely makes it go faster. Yeah, this is going to fill in really nice. So maybe just a couple more pieces of this, and I'm going to move on to a different greenery. Wait till you see what I'm going to do for the purple. It's really going to, and it's just going to be a hint. We're not going to do too much. Just enough to really, so you can see the purple, but it's not going to be overwhelming. And I'm going to put another piece. I think I'll even go all the way over here, yeah. Okay, so I have this snowy pine I got from Joanne Fabrics, and I really like that. I don't know if you just saw, like when I pulled these apart, there's a little bit of this flocking that's kind of flying around, so you're gonna have a little bit of a mess, but I don't care, it's worth it. I think it's beautiful. Again, it's almost like fern arborvitae-ish kind of floral there. I'm gonna cut several of these. Some I want to leave long because I really want this to fill out and be nice and full. But some of it I'm going to cut down, and I will show you kind of what I do here. Again, just have some pieces like this, and then just a couple short pieces, just for filler. So use that a little closer to the bow. We don't want too much of the snow around the bow until we get further along. Kind of have this behind there. Okay. I really like having the different textures. It makes such a difference. And the different colors also make a difference too. You want to have nice color. You want to have some bright greens along with some, more muted, a darker greens, just to give it interest. You know what? I don't like that there. I think that's just a little too long right there. That needs to be cut down. But I like a little bit of height there, but that was just a little too high. There, that's better. I mean, we got some sage greens. We got, the pine, and yeah, it's gonna, with all that, the different color, along with the different texture, it really shows up nicely. Okay, I got one here. Kind of want to stick this over here somewhere. Again, this is filling in really nicely. Now we're going to have to leave some room for some of our purple again, but I do like how this is filling in. Okay. Some of this here. And I think I'm going to have to put a little bit of the snowy pine over here, so again, I don't want to make it too long, so you got to cut it a little bit shorter. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the purple. Wait till you see what I have here. I have just this pine that is painted a dark purple, just kind of to stick through there, kind of give it that dark purple. I mean, it's going to have a different texture, different color, different shade of, you know, you're going to have the darker against the light. And I think that's going to, you know, it definitely kind of gives it more dimension. And again, we got that little bit of purple, which, you know, purple is, well, actually a lot of people have liked purple for years. So I think, you know, you're always going to have somebody that really loves purple, really loves pink. There's like the blue lovers. So you can do this with almost any color. Just, you know, kind of give it a little bit of spray paint. There's a little bit of glitter in there. So it's just something fun that we can do just to dress things up a little bit. Have that sticking out a little bit higher. That's too short. I want to put that somewhere where it's not going to be too far hidden. You can still kind of see it. I think that's good. Okay. I'm really liking these different colors, different textures, different shades of all the different colors. And like I said, it's just a hint of purple. Well, I'm going to have some more in there too. Don't you worry. It might end up being a little more than a hint once I'm done. But these darker pieces just really kind of help give it a little more dimension. I like it. Do a couple pieces down here. And I think we've got enough of the dark going through here, that just that little dark purple, that we're going to go lighter again. I do believe I want to use this that I got from TJ Maxx. It's a brighter green, and it just really has a great color. and it's just slightly frosted. And I really don't want to use too much of it. Let's see. Okay. And this is the kind that you can kind of pull it apart a little bit. So that's exactly what I'm doing. And just going to stick it throughout there also. Again, just a different color, different texture. And it's really looking beautiful. I think after this, I'm going to start going with some more embellishments. And that's where some of our other purple is going to come in. And if you are watching a replay, because this is live, comment on here. Tell me what you think of all the different colors that I'm using here. Am I doing too much pine? Would you rather see some leaves like holly or something like that? Which I have some holly, but the holly had red berries, and I'm not going to use red. So I kind of stayed away from that. But I am going to use some pine cones. Believe it or not, I painted these pine cones white. And I have this purple glitter. I'll show you. I got this, oh, it's been a few years, from Folk Art. It's called Extreme Glitter Paint. And it's, when you first paint it on, it's a light purple, but it dries a dark purple. And it kind of made me nervous. So I mixed it with some white. So it actually looks very light. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. Hey, this is all, yeah, I do everything on the fly. So we'll see how my fly turns out, right? So I'm going to kind of stick this down in here. So we have that coming underneath the bow. And again, I actually wanted to make the bow kind of a little more to the side. So I'm going to put a little more right here. I'm going to put some of this snowy pine right there. Whoop. Oops. Okay. So, I'm pulling on this just a little too much, ain't I? So, I am going to, let's see. There's a couple things I want to do. I have this. Still some more pine, I know. This is more of a frosted pine. I also got this at Joann Fabrics. I'm only going to stick a couple of these through here. Not a whole heck of a lot. But I love that, how it's just kind of glittered. And it's beautiful. So, let's see. Kind of shorten that down a little bit and just kind of stick this through here. It's nice and light, almost like that snowy pine, but again, it's more of a glittery. So it's kind of more frosted. And more dimension. Which, in case you haven't noticed by now, I love the dimension. Stick that kind of down in here. And these are the kind you can slide up and down the stem. So I'm going to cut this in two. And I can use this bottom, just kind of make it so it doesn't slide off. You got two stems on this one. I'll just stick that kind of in here. But I want this to go right here, right next to that bow again, kind of fill that in on this side of it. There we go. Okay, so something else I'm going to use for the purple. I got these, actually a friend of mine gave these to me. I'm not sure where she got them, but they were already cut and they're just like this beautiful purple, almost iridescent, glittery. It's not even a berry. I couldn't tell you what it is, but I had these and I thought, you know what, I gotta use them. So I'm just gonna kind of stick these through here. Again, it's just gonna be a nice little hint. It's not gonna be too much, but of course it's gonna be, you know, nice and glittery. So it's gonna really catch people's eye without being overbearing. Just kind of stick these throughout. And I have like, I think 7 or 8 of these. So I'm going to use as many of them as I can without, again, without just, I don't want it to be too much. But I want to make sure I satisfy the purple lovers. I actually think I need something else right there anyway, so I'm going to stick this in there. Please excuse the back of my head as I'm doing this. But, okay. This is turning out like I was hoping. Just a little bit of purple in there, just enough to kind of give it a little extra fun. Okay. Getting some hot glue strings in here, which is another reason why I don't use hot glue most of the time, but those can always be fixed. Okay. Get some of this purple right here on the inside. And this is my last one. So I'm going to put it right over in here. Okay, isn't that fun? You really can't see it. I'm going to kind of get it a little closer to you. Got a little bit of that purple kind of going through there. We got, make sure the side is nice and full. The inside is nice and full. Okay. So I have a couple more embellishments. If I decide, I got a little bit more of this dark purple, but I have these pine cones that I painted, and you can kind of see they're white, but I got a little bit of purple glitter painted on there also. So I'm just going to kind of stick this wire into the glue and just kind of shove that in there. Kind of use that wire as a stem. It's pretty good thick wire. So we got that rustic look while still being a little more on the sparkle, glittery side. Because you know, I love my rustic, but I also love my glitter. Anything shiny. And if I decide I don't have enough purple on here, because like I said, I added some white with it, I will go ahead and kind of take these back off and add a little more of that purple glitter to it. But as it dries, it gets a little more purple. So I'm hoping it does. Fingers crossed. Because I just painted these like a half hour ago. So, just before I came on live with you, I got these finished painting. I was hoping they would be dry, which they are dry to the touch, so I'm able to use them. And I got one last one. I only made 5. But I think that's going to be plenty. And this one just about back here. And I'm just going to kind of glue it to some of that other pine. Make sure it kind of sticks out. a little bit. Okay, so more embellishments. I have no idea where I got these. I think I actually got these at a garage sale. These just look like light bulbs, but they are very iridescent, have that purplish iridescent look about them. So I really would like to use these. I've been holding on to them for a couple years, and I decided, okay, it's time. Stop holding on to them and just use them. I hope they're not going to be too much. If I decide they're too much, I'll take them out. Because, you know, you could always take out and you could always put more in. So it's just one of those things I like to do whenever I think I'm done with a wreath. I take pictures, I decide what I like, what I don't like. If I decide I don't want something where it is, I'll move it, whatever. So, you know, I don't know if I like these. I think I'm gonna leave these out. Yeah, I don't think I like those in there. I think that's just a little too much. But what I do have also that I kind of wanted to put in here, excuse me, I am going to put in some of this eucalyptus just for another type of leaf that will give dimension. Because I just, you know, I love using different types of leaves. And this, you can see it's been frosted. So it's very beautiful. And these stems are super thin. So they will fit pretty much anywhere, which is great. But at the same point, they're a little on the flimsy side. So it's going to be hard to put it into the actual grapevines. So it's going to have to be something else that it's going to stick really well to another pine, but it's not going to like go into the grapevine very easily. So I'm just going to really make sure that glue is on there good, that it sticks to the other pine really well. See that coming out over here. And I want some up here too. Just have one more piece and that's it. Oh no, I take that back, there's two. So I'm going to need to put some down here a little bit. Again, I keep pulling off the strings from the hot glue. Okay, and put this over here. And make sure it's kind of turned so you have the good side facing out. Okay. I'm trying to pull off all these strings as I go along. So I'm thinking this is looking really good right now. What else should I use? I could use some silver in here. I do have some silver over here. That's what I wanted to do. I just remembered. I got this from Michael's last year. It's just some branches with those little, it almost looks like ice on them. I have a few of these. Well, I just have this one branch, but I have this one that's not iridescent that I got from Joanne Fabrics. But I really wanted to use this iridescent one because it just has, that iridescent look is almost a purplish color in a way. So I'm going to try to gently pull these apart the best I possibly can without getting some of this ice, those ice beads or whatever they are. They're wanting to fall off because they're like almost glued to each other. So I'm going to try to be as gentle as I possibly can so we don't lose too many of them. But again, that'll give it a lot of dimension. I got 5 of these in that one branch. Okay, we'll just kind of stick these throughout. Nice icy look. That beautiful iridescent. And right there at the top. Try to get this purple to stick up a little bit more. There you go. And we'll have some sticking out the sides a little bit. Boy, this thing is starting to get nice and full. I'm going to have one coming, I think, right here. I think that'll be good. You know what? I'm going to cut this off. I kind of needed something right there. And so we got to get something over here just to get it a little more evened out. And that's almost right where the purple, this purple thing is. So I kind of want it, not hiding that, but there you go. And I cut a couple of these off the bottoms, so I'm gonna just kind of stick that, again, just kind of glue it to some of the pine, just to have it sticking in there nice and good. Nice and pretty. Okay. Now I could do a little bit more here and there. I might, I'm going to cut this one down a little bit. Kind of get this behind here. Because that hole right there just seems to be a little too big for me. So it needed a little something. Put that in there. But so far I'm liking this. Just kind of fix the bow a little bit. And again, I kind of wanted it more to the side than it is, but maybe I don't want it to the side. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to fool around with this a little bit more, see if I need to add anything, take anything away from it. I might do some of these branches in there that are not iridescent. They're just a little bit whiter, but it'll give it a little bit more dimension. And something I forgot to put in here. I got this at Hobby Lobby. That might actually kind of give it a little, I don't know, a little something too. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to stop here. Again, I'm going to just look at it, take pictures. I always take pictures of things whenever I think I'm done. And then I decide where something, you know, if I need to add something somewhere, if I have enough, you know, do I have enough purple? Do I need more? Like these pine cones, they're almost too white. I might put a little more purple in there. I haven't decided yet. So I'm just going to, you know, kind of decide what I want to do. Hey, I might even decide to put a little glitter or something like that on the base itself and see if it, yeah, if I can give it a little more purple, glittery, frosty look. So it's just something to think about. But I am going to stop here and I will show you the end result later on. So thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Patty Davis. I'm with Crooked Tree Creations, rustic wreaths with an elegant twist, and I will see you later. And oh, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So I will see you.